It's laughter.
Yeah.
One of the biggest therapies to help people.
Yes.
And to help them move on from,
Yeah.
In some cases, when they're told there isn't any more that can be done for them.
Well,
You imagine being told that. I really don't agree with the way sometimes words are spoken.
yeah, I agree with you.
There are different ways that you can
Approach things.
and I find it heartbreaking that we at the centre give hope. We don't give false hope, we give hope. And I don't think anybody has the right to tell somebody how long they've got left to die.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Big Chat. I'm Coco, your host, and happy to be here on Friday. And I have invited back some very special people. Everyone's very special, but obviously everybody knows I have two fairy godmothers. Two. That is Rosemary Schrager and Polly from the Pickering Cancer Drop-In Centre. She is definitely one of my fairy godmothers, and I had to get her back onto the show. I had to get her back on. Had to. And I also had to get Caroline on as well, because there's been quite a lot has happened since you were last here, since we last spoke. So I'm delighted to introduce you to Polly and Caroline from the Pickering Cancer Drop-In Centre. Am I allowed to say President Polly?
You can say President Polly. I will allow you to say President Polly.
So we've got President Polly. So hello, Polly. How are you?
Hello, Coco. I'm fine, thank you.
And how are you, Caroline?
I'm all good too.
Caroline's got centre stage, hasn't she?
Caroline has. She deserves it. She's been a very good girl.
So for those that don't know about Pickering, we have had an episode before. We will put a link to the episode which we did with you a while ago. But just give us a little roundup of what you guys do. Everyone would hope by now everyone knows what you're doing. But if they don't, they need to hear it again.
Well, Pickering is all about supporting people and their families going through cancer journey. Obviously, it was set up 19 years ago this year, when a group of us were going through cancer, and myself in particular noticed there wasn't anybody for the family, and we definitely found the missing link in people out there to support us with the emotional side. And if anybody that's gone through it now will notice how valuable that support is. And over the years, we have come from a small charity to quite a large one now, because especially at the moment with the NHS as it is, the support that we're giving is so needed.
Yeah.
And also cancer has multiplied tremendously.
Has it?
We are supporting a lot of families, and we are having a lot of very young families now. Whatever's going on out there in the world, it's certainly affecting young people. So the emotional side that we give to them with hugs and love and time is just so valuable. Our volunteers that we've got are amazing. All volunteers are amazing.
You're all volunteers.
But Pickering's volunteers, I can tell you, are special. Caroline rescued me through COVID, and she has been a phenomenal support to Pickering and also to me, because 19 years of looking after people with the depth of the mental and emotional side takes its toll on an old lady, believe me. But it is such a valuable support.
Yeah.
And Caroline, she may look like a Sunday school teacher, but she's very naughty. she's my partner in crime.
She's like, I would say, like a baby-faced assassin.
Yes, she's Polly's assassin. If anybody says no to Polly, I send Caroline in.
But you do have such a serene nature, doesn't she? It's so lovely.
She does.
And obviously
it can
Polly,
be wicked times.
Yeah, no, and rightly so. She's firm but fair, which is important. But you've ever since I've known Polly and everything that you guys do, you're there. You've been there, and I bet you feel very proud of that, don't you, Caroline?
Yeah, I mean, it's a real privilege. It's a really humbling experience to be volunteering for Pickering and be beside Polly, taking her all different places and doing all different things. And I'm kind of like the duck with my serene on top of the water and the legs are going like crazy underneath.
Especially when I dress her up as Ben the flower pot man.
Yeah, that was almost one of the first things that I did. We arrive at the Tunbridge Wells in Bloom posh lunch, and Polly said, "We're going to go as Bill and Ben, the flower pot men."
And we did, and
did.
She had to cut the costume to get me in it in the downstairs loo.
And there's you saying, "Look at what I'm wearing today."
I know, but I loved it.
But the thing is, see, I would love to get my team to wear things like that, but they just wouldn't have it. They'd just be like flat blank no. So that, I mean, Polly has got skills that no one else has got, because honestly, some of the costumes you've worn, I mean, I'll never forget on the birthday with the when you came out as a fairy. I mean, that was just getting through the actual spa hotel was just.
You should see us trying to get her into and out of that outfit. Believe me,
I'm claustrophobic, and they had to cut me out of it.
But getting you into it was the first challenge.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, Caroline has had intimate details of trying to get my knickers and my leggings on. But on saying that,
you've done it for love.
It's laughter.
Yeah.
One of the biggest therapies to help people.
Yes.
And to help them move on from, in some cases, when they're told there isn't any more that can be done for them.
Well.
You imagine being told that. I really don't agree with the way sometimes words are spoken.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There are different ways that you can
approach things.
And I find it heartbreaking that we at the centre give hope. We don't give false hope, we give hope. And I don't think anybody has the right to tell somebody how long they've got left to die. Because when you're given hope to keep fighting, you can go on as long as you wish to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you really do not need to be told, especially youngsters, because all the time you can keep them. Well, I know with my husband, I made them swear in the hospital that they would not tell him that he hadn't got long, because I knew with Mike he wouldn't be able to fight anymore.
Is that what your husband was called, Mike? My dad was called Mike.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, my lovely Mike. He's been gone 10 years this year. Miss him every day. And he went within 6 months of diagnosis. Didn't know, knew he was poorly, and even working as long as I had been closely with cancer, hadn't got a clue that that's what he had.
It's interesting because we never talked to Dad. Dad went 2018, so 5 years in April. But we never talked to him. He knew that he was ill. I mean, he'd been hospitalised for the last 3 months, but we never actually talked about it with him when the doctors actually said that's it. And actually, as he was sort of the 18 hours we were with him, that he was literally passing away and then went through conscious to unconscious, we just talked about everything funny. We did talk about funny things. I mean, it was just what we did. That was just how we did it, because my dad was a humorous person, and that would have made him feel settled. So, and you're right, for children, it's one thing for an adult, but for children as well, to be told that something's definitive it's very, and there's lots of things I don't agree with at the moment that children are suddenly being told, and I think, well, they're children, you know.
Well, and young people. I mean, you know, within like 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds and things. I think to be told that sort of thing is, we notice a difference, don't we, Caroline, when they come in and say, oh, they're devastated, and we've been looking after them for years, building them up, keeping the hope going, and they can be destroyed in just a sentence. And then we have to start again and say, look, now we'll help you process that, what you've been told. Then we turn to another chapter and we go on fighting. Because every day, you've got to enjoy every day. Yeah. Because none of us know.
None of us know. Exactly.
We've all got a life circle. Yeah. And none of us know how big our circle of life is.
And that is so true, because it literally, isn't it? None of us might not be here tomorrow. You do not know. And so if you tell someone, and children will hear. I had an experience with my daughter recently that was quite upsetting, where she was told the side effects of something that might possibly help her get better. She'd been ill for a long time. And I was like, all she heard was the bad. That's all she heard.
That's all they hold
on to. And she was terrified. She came out terrified. And I got really quite cross about it, because I was like, my daughter's 11, and I was like, she shouldn't have been told that. That was kind of almost like a manipulation of sorts of words, because she immediately was like, oh, well, I don't want that. Even though when she had it, she was better within 2 days. And she'd started to get depressed. She was getting anxious. She was getting anxiety. She wasn't seeing her friends. She was missing lots of school. She was getting letters home because she'd been ill for so long. And there are things going on behind the scenes that we know. There's shortages. We understand all these reasons, but don't scare children.
No. Don't scare anybody.
Don't scare anybody. Because like you say, you don't know how long you've got.
I do know that they have certain guidelines that they have to stick to within the medical. And I do feel sorry for them, because they are so inundated with so many different, not just cancer. Yeah. But with cancer, it's not like with COVID, when cancer was put on the sideline. Yeah. Cancer doesn't stop. It's not a car. You can't put a brake on cancer. No. And this is where a lot of the problems happened, when cancer got put on the back burner. And so we were just inundated with people. But of course, we're complementary. We can keep their spirits going and keep them strong, give them strength and the power to fight it and give them hope all the time. But it is heartbreaking when you know, which we do now, that they're dying. And it's quite hard for us to watch before our eyes somebody that we're keeping going, but knowing that we are going to lose them. Yeah. So that's something that
you've got big hearts.
I tell you something, Nicole, it is one of the most rewarding. It's heartbreaking, but the way that we cope and deal with it is we look at the smiles we put on their faces.
Absolutely.
We listen to the words that they say to us, and when we're hugging them, what they whisper to us. And you take that away, and that outweighs the negative of it all. It's,
it's a gift.
It's
to be able to help in that way.
Yeah, it's an honour.
It's an honour.
How often do you get that
opportunity?
An honour.
It's an
you
absolute...
don't want that opportunity in some sense.
No, you don't want.
But you want to have people have the opportunity to talk about exactly how they feel.
Yeah,
and holding their hand.
Yeah. I mean, I've said a million times, I wish I'd come in with Dad, because it would have helped me. I'm sure, well, you are helping me. So he's up there got you to help me with or without.
Yeah, he put me in the soapbox.
So, I mean, I know you were saying about eyes, talking about eyes. Obviously, we got the old Edney and Edneys on you and I today. Caroline, we need to get you a pair.
Can you see my Edney and Edney glasses?
Edney and Edneys, there we are. This week's episode of The Big Chat has been sponsored by the incredible team Edney and Edney. Now, if you don't know what Edney and Edney is, these babies came from Edney and Edney. Edney and Edney will test and check your eyes, and they will fit you with the perfect pair of spectacles that will make you feel spectacular. I mean, literally, you've probably seen all the different glasses I've got. They just know. Go in there. They're a husband and wife team. Go in there and have a chat with them, and they will check out what lenses you need, and they will fit something perfect for you that's totally unique to your personality, to your brand, to your whole being. So thank you, Edney and Edney, for supporting us by sponsoring the episode of The Big Chat and a few more, but also for letting me be an ambassador, because I absolutely love my glasses. I mean, we are supporting you again, Chatty Hatter. We're raising for Pickering Cancer Drop-In Centre again this year, which I think is our I don't think we've done. Well, we're doing mental health resources with a big chat, but Chatty Hatter is going to be raising for you guys. So you're going to have a cart. We don't know what yours is going to be. It's going to be something different, isn't it? Are you going down in the cart again, Polly?
Of course I am. What do you mean?
I'm not even allowed to go down.
I loved it.
You're so funny. You and Rosemary, like literally, Rosemary's just like, I'm going down in it, and you're like, I'm going down. I'm not even allowed in the buggy this year.
No, you nearly killed me last year. She nearly took me over.
I was
in the tuk-tuk.
I was
the tuk-tuk.
It was a golf buggy.
Oh,
there was no horn on it, and you have to drive at great speed. And anyone that knows that Dunall slope, it's quite steep and it's quite high. And if you don't get the speed and the momentum, it will tip over.
Yes.
And I was worried about you. I was very worried about you and Rosemary. I was like, oh my God, I don't want that pressure again.
Do you know what? If I wasn't the size I am, we would have been dead. I had to throw myself over onto you to stop it tipping over that slope. I saved our lives because I'm a big girl.
I'm so glad you're racing again, though, because it's going to be so much fun having you there again. And you just all of your energy, everything you do, you bring fun into everything. And you last year, you know, I'd personally like to thank both of you, because you know what a crisis point I was at when I thought I couldn't get that event insured, and I met you that day, and not everyone knows, and I just broke down and was like. And you were lovely. You were like, Coco, if you don't want to do it, you don't need to do it. You were absolutely amazing. But it happened.
It did.
And this year we've got insurance and it's all go, and we've, tickets are going mad, and it's going to be the best one, and it's brilliant. And, I feel like I've come out of a cloud, and not everyone gets to do that. So I feel very grateful for being here. But you did really help me, and we love working with you, and I wanted to have you back on to thank you as much as anything, because
you're welcome, because I think that was one of the best things that had happened to me last year, but also because I was called a president.
I mean, let's talk about
President Polly.
I mean, look, you've got President Polly on your badge. You've got so many, Polly. You've got so many badges now. I mean, you've got your picture that Net Brown, Brown Sugar did that. Of you with your 2 platinums. I was like, you can't give her 1, you got to give her 2 crowns, because you've got 2 platinum. But and then now you're president. And what's next?
I don't know. Caroline's got to be next.
I can't imagine what's next.
Caroline's got to be next.
What have you got? What else have you got coming up? Obviously the soapbox, but what else have you got coming up? What else are you doing?
we've got the soapbox coming up. I mean, last year we had so many things going on.
Yeah, you did.
But as a charity, I will say we are blessed. Blessed by the community.
Yeah.
Blessed by local businesses. And we're just supported so much by everybody. And I think it's because we're all volunteers.
Yeah.
So therefore, all the money that we get, because since we bought our holiday home down in Pevensey, and that was another thing, not having to pay wages. I mean, obviously charities aren't as lucky as us that they have to have paid staff, but we don't. And so we benefit by being able to have bought our own home and bought a holiday home, which has been put to good use. But of course they have to be maintained.
Yes, of course.
The yearly costs are quite high. So we do have to keep fundraising to keep these things going. And basically the supermarkets, I think I've drained them with getting stuff donated. We must be the only charity that's nearly brought them to a standstill. But we still do have a go, don't we?
Yes.
And I've trained Caroline now, and she's brilliant. She goes in now.
A little.
And now they see her coming. As soon as, if you go into Sainsbury's or Tesco's or something, and you'll see a manager, and he sees us in the red, he'll run. Caroline, you go that way. I'll go this way.
Actually, it's very nice, that corner. I've just realised you've got Freddie the flamingo behind you, and it's very in Pickering. Is there anything else you're doing? I think you're doing. I heard a whisper about a new website,
Yes.
I mean, you don't need to say who's doing it. I'm just saying there's new things happening for Pickering, isn't there?
Chatty Hat is doing it for us.
You didn't need to say that, but that's very nice of you. But it's exciting, isn't it? Because we're going to have talking about more about what you're doing, showcasing more of the work. We've got a certain person behind the screen getting involved with us a bit more. There's all sorts of things that are going on, isn't there? So
yes, James is going to be doing our filming.
I think it's just lovely, the stuff that it's so nice now, because I feel like people do, and I do feel like the Soapbox and all the events that you do, you put so much effort into what you do. I mean, your dues, which I've been privileged to be asked to a few now, thank you. The Christmas dues, the Irish dues, they're like soapboxes of their own.
Well, we have got another one October the 7th.
That's good. That gives me plenty of time to prepare for.
If anybody would like to book a table. And it's 60s, 70s, 80s.
Oh, is it?
Fancy dress.
Oh, my God, I'm coming. I'm booking a table.
And we have the two bands that will be performing.
Yeah.
One of the bands, Paul, who's the singer, is a Pickering visitor.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing guy. That his voice is phenomenal. And bearing in mind that he's overcome throat cancer.
Yeah, oh, good.
To be singing that way.
Yeah.
So they have put themselves forward, and the other band was David's band that we sadly lost last year. So his band want to perform for us. So it's going to be a very special evening.
Is Paul's tattooist?
No, that's Dan.
That's Dan.
That's Dan.
Because Dan did my heart. That's my Pickering heart.
Yeah,
he did for me. Yeah, that's Dan. Because there's. I mean, it's just you've got and Sticky Monkeys. Let's not forget them, because those guys.
Sticky Monkey, and then
they are big supporters, aren't they? And have been on the show.
We've got My Exile Boys, who are the retired rugby players.
Yeah,
we've got that on St George's Day. They do each year St George's Day lunch at the Spa Hotel.
And you've got Solomon's who look after you. Obviously.
And Solomon's look after us. The Spa Hotel.
Yeah,
they look after us.
Paul's
Everybody looks after us.
They do, because everyone wants to look after you, because you're looking after everyone else. It's what happens when you give.
Well,
you get,
I think the staff at Solomon's and at the Spa, they're so lovely. And we've got a lot of young people. We've had youngsters that through COVID were raising money for us. One of them, young Elvis, that came to us when he was 11. One of his little friends, one of our children that came to Pickering, was poorly, and we sadly lost him. So young Elvis was his friend, and he started raising money for Pickering. He said to his mum, I really want to do a small charity and a local charity, and he chose Pickering from Southborough School.
Wow.
And all the children, we had the whole class, we invited them to Pickering, and it was so sweet because I have to hug everybody, as you know, but the boys it was priceless. And they'd go, oh no, she's coming to hug me, she's coming to. And I'd grab them, and then they'd put their face, and I went, no, I want a cheek. Boys are so funny with, but Elvis and his little friend Emily, they've gone on raising money for us, baking cakes and penny challenges, and we've had a lot of children.
We're going to be doing some events. We're going to be doing some more events for you. We've got some more stuff coming up, and I know I'm speaking to Sticky Monkeys about. We've got a few little secrets coming out for you that we haven't told you about.
Secrets.
Paul's got a concert coming up too at the end of 31st of March.
Yes.
He's doing a fundraiser
Amazing.
concert for us.
Down
an
in
event
Tunbridge.
in Tunbridge.
£10 tickets in the
That's
Telegraph.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
on the 31st of March.
Okay, so there's lots of things, and that's the thing. We will, it's. There's so many things that people can do that can go a long way, and it's like you both said to me before as well. It's the money raised. Yes, we need the money raised, but it's also the awareness, isn't it? Because once people know your story, they're invested. Well, it's like you're in for life, really, as far as I'm concerned.
And we've just had endless money brought in, donations brought in the past 2 weeks. We had a lovely. What was it called in the church? It was called
Recital.
A recital. And it was 3 professionals.
Yeah.
On Saturday this was.
Yeah, who put it together for Michelle, who has been raising money for us for years.
Wow.
She's a choir mistress at Twigs, but also she has lots of choirs that she's built up, little community choirs. And every Christmas we book the Pantals 2 Saturdays before Christmas to sing carols on the bandstand. And she is phenomenal, and she's very poorly at the moment with cancer. So these were friends of hers that put this together in St Luke's Church.
Wow.
Caroline, the vicar, allowed it to go ahead and to have money raised for Pickering, and it was just an intimate thing, but I think there was about 50 or 60 people there.
Goodness me.
And we sat there and you could hear a pin drop. It was amazing. And lovely Michelle, who was poorly, sat at the back of the church. She stood up and did a talk. And the thing about her is, as poorly as she is, she never loses her smile. So in 35 minutes, £935 was raised for Pickering.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I did a presentation, and we go out a lot, Caroline and myself, giving presentations and keeping people aware of Pickering, because still a lot of people say they haven't heard of us.
They don't know, I know, and it always surprises me. I mean, I'm pleased that we can play a part in getting people to know you more, because it's like that thing, isn't it? Just because you assume everyone else knows. And it's like, but they don't. And
we do put the word out there.
You do.
I mean,
you do a lot.
We've had several phone calls from different areas of people. We had a call yesterday from
Westmoreland.
Westmoreland.
Yeah,
I knew it began with a word.
I know you did.
But are getting a mucking fuddle.
She's
with these things.
literally, they're joined, these two.
Yes, that's it.
You finish her sentences for her.
She does.
I have a friend
struggling.
like that. She's called Russia. She finishes my sentences. I can't say.
Well, when you get to 78, your spelling and
Right,
everything.
stop showing off about how
It's
glamorous
like,
you look at
Caroline,
78.
Caroline, how do I spell because? It's awful. I'm sure it's the
I've got that
start of something.
47. Who's going to be my Caroline? No one's going to take that position.
Rachel.
She run a mile. She's run a mile. But you are an amazing team together. And yeah, I think we're going to be doing more to push you out there and get you out there in different areas. And
Because we're not just local.
no, exactly.
I mean, the calls that we've had in the past 2 weeks have not been local.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I know, and they've, like the lady that called me yesterday, I'd never even heard of this place, a medical place, and she wanted to know if we could support this girl, another young one, 32, with a horrible facial cancer. And I said, yes, yeah, we certainly can.
Good for you.
You know, if they can get to us. And
Then you will, yeah.
because we have a Smile Fund and we will fund the taxi fares, and because we have this charity that we set up a few years ago called the Smile Fund, which we support people, and at the moment with all the utility things, you know, we're supporting people big time, and Pickering has now become a charity that covers everything.
It's amazing.
We've got the holiday home.
Yeah.
We give them the love and support they need.
Yeah.
With endless cups of coffee and tea.
Love your cups of coffee and tea.
And homemade cakes.
Love your cakes.
And biscuits. I wish people would make sausage rolls because I don't like sweet things.
I'm going to bring you some sausage rolls.
Greg's sausage rolls.
What's everyone obsessed with Greg's sausage rolls? It's so funny. It's not an advert for Greg's, but if you would like to sponsor us, please feel free to get in touch. But no, I mean, you do really look after everybody. How can people find out? Obviously, we are in the development process of a new website coming out, so that's going to be much more integrated so people can find out more about you. But what's the best way, Caroline? Is it to pick up the phone, get in touch, or to email?
Pick up the phone, get in touch, turn up on our doorstep Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 till 3, 27 Monson Road, Tunbridge Wells.
You can't really miss it.
You can't miss it. Google Pickering Cancer and Tunbridge Wells. We should pop up.
Well, just Google President Polly. I mean, to be fair, I mean, I think we're gonna slip in a few pictures in this episode of you going down in your cart. So we're gonna get a few.
Well, yesterday,
or maybe your fairy dress. I might get one of those in.
Do you know Adele, the tribute Adele?
Yeah.
Maria.
Yeah.
She came in
Maria.
She came in yesterday.
Yeah.
She said, "You're going to think this is a stupid idea," but she can't sleep at night, and she got her children's coloured pencils, and she came up with what's it called?
Polly Dolly.
Polly Dolly.
She drew a picture.
So she said, "When you're not here, they can have," and she didn't mean that. I mean, she meant when I'm not in the centre.
But that's lovely.
But she said also, because one of the young lads I've been looking after for several years, she's friends with his mother, and she knows what I've meant to him and what he means to me. And she said you could have little Polly dollies that they could have with them.
I'm going to make you some. Right. Well, there will be a merchandise area at the Soapbox, and we will have Polly Dollies. Okay, you heard it here first on the Big Chat. Polly Dollies, and Caroline will be attached. It'd be like those. You could have it like those little monkeys. Remember the little monkeys that had the Velcro hands?
Yes.
We could have a little.
Yeah, but you see, when I'm gone, I said to Caroline, you needn't look like that, because when I'm gone, you've got to have to wear because it's going to be a costume, and she's going to have to wear it.
I dread to think. I mean, look, I'm looking at you both and there's a flamingo behind you. It's all gone a bit wonky, hasn't it? But listen, ladies, it's been wonderful to have you on.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
And it's an honour to talk to you again, and it's an honour to raise for you again. And I'm so excited about the next few months and how we can help people in the future. So I'm sorry I made you wait a little bit.
Quite all right. We were very patient.
You were very patient.
But I'm glad you couldn't hear what we were saying.
Actually, my whole house is bugged, so I'll listen later.
You'll enjoy it.
But listen, I love you both very much. Thank you for all you've done to support me personally, and thank you for everything you do for the community.
You're very welcome.
All of your beautiful people that you work with, and just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep pushing Pickering's name out there as best we can. So,
it's a deal.
You have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Coco.
We will indeed. Thank you.
All right. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.